Alright guys, the 2025 Lowrider ST models are finally here. After weeks of leaked photos, we get confirmation of the new 2025 Lowrider ST and the S. And there are a ton of changes from this year versus the previous year, so I'm going to list out all of the changes for 2025. I went over to my local Harley Davidson dealership to check out the new models, and I have to say I'm loving the changes for this year. So this year we have so many options to choose from in terms of trim, color, tank graphic designs. In previous years, Harley would give us 2 to 3 options to choose from, so we're already off to a fantastic start. You now have several color options to choose from. Clearly they know that the Lowrider ST is one of the most popular models in their lineup, so this year Harley is quadrupling down on the Lowrider ST in so many different ways. So starting off, you can now choose from a black trim or chrome trim, with the black trim being an $1,100 upgrade. If you go with the black trim, you get several color options to choose from. Billiard Gray, Vivid Black, which is $550 more, Brilliant Red, Iron Horse Metallic, which is $850 more, and the Midnight Firestorm, which is part of the Factory Custom series with a flame design for $1,900 more. The black trim option with these colors also give you the Harley Davidson script logo in red for 2025 versus the bronze in the previous years. And it's worth noting that the Midnight Firestorm has an entirely different Harley logo altogether. Now, if you don't want to pay extra for the black trim, you can choose the chrome option for all you chrome lovers out there. And I think it's a very interesting move from Harley Davidson. This is the first year where they're offering chrome on the Lowrider ST as a possible nod to the FXR days. The chrome option will now reflect the base MSRP at $24,199, and it comes with 3 color options: Billiard Gray, Vivid Black, and Blue Burst. The chrome trim will also give you a retro design logo on the tank. The logo on this option has a circular design with the wings attached to it, which I think looks really good. To me, that logo design pairs really nicely with the chrome, and it's just a breath of fresh air. You know, it's just something different for people to see after 4 years of the same logo design on this bike. Okay, let's talk about the engine. Clearly one of the most notable upgrades to the Lowrider ST this year is the highly anticipated Milwaukee 8 117 high output motor that pumps out 128 foot-pounds of torque and 114 horsepower at 5,000 RPM. This is a significant improvement over the 2024 model, which delivers 125 foot-pounds of torque with 103 horsepower at 4,750 RPM. That's about a 10% improvement in terms of horsepower, which is a nice improvement from the previous model. Coupled with their engine is now a 2-into-1 exhaust for a more performance-oriented package. And with the heavy breather intake, this is by far the most powerful softail Harley has produced to date. It's worth noting here as well that the other softails like the Street Bob and the Fat Boy are finally getting the 117 engine. And I like the fact that Harley gave a little something extra to the Lowrider ST and the S as it's their sport cruiser models. One of the benefits of a stock 2-to-1 exhaust is that now Harley Davidson has put even-sized bags, giving you slightly more storage capacity for the Lowrider ST. But more importantly, from a visual perspective, I think this is a welcoming change. It still feels a little silly to get excited about even-sized bags, but here we are today. Regardless of the uneven-sized bags, the Lowrider ST has been one of the most popular models for Harley Davidson. And now with the even-sized bags, I feel like this is really the best Harley Davidson softail that Harley has ever produced. But there's even more to be excited about this bike, and a lot of that happens under the hood, so to speak. The new Lowrider ST has received a significant upgrade in terms of tech features. I'm going to start listing them here for you right now. It has newly designed hand controls that now feature ride mode selection with rain, road, and sport mode. It has a USB-C charge port, ABS, traction control, drag torque slip control system, tire pressure monitoring system, cornering enhanced ABS, cornering enhanced traction control system, cornering drag torque slip control system. This is a ton of new features that were only once available on touring models. This enhancement in the tech area really brings the Lowrider ST into a more modern era, with a ton of useful features that should assist the rider when they're out on the road. The only tech feature that I wish they would have added is a digital gauge that allows you for navigation, but instead, Harley actually went back to a round analog gauge. I would have preferred a gauge similar to the Sportster S here, but this analog gauge, I prefer that actually over the slim digital gauge from the previous year's model. Another notable change on the Lowrider ST is that they got rid of the bronze wheels in favor of black or chrome wheels depending on the trim model. I personally am a fan of this move. The change in the wheels is just nice to get something different. and I think it complements the colors of the Lowrider ST. So in 2025, we finally get LED lighting all throughout the bike, with also a redesigned taillight that looks really sleek and classy. So now you don't have to go out and buy LEDs for the turn signals. And finally, I think I read that the suspension, both the front and rear, has been tuned for superior handling versus the previous year's model, but I can't see the details on Harley's website, so take that with a grain of salt. I think the stock suspension on the Lowrider ST with the monoshock and the inverter forks were pretty good as is, but we'll have to see exactly what the improvements were made, if any. So those are all of the upgrades on the Lowrider ST for 2025, and I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. This is a major refresh to the Lowrider ST line, and so far I like what I'm seeing. But of course, with the major upgrades comes with a big bump in price, especially if you choose to go with the black trim. Now, I was pricing out some of the options here, but I would have gone with the Iron Horse Metallic with the black trim, which is, going to be by far one of the most popular color options. But with those two options, the Lowrider ST would cost $26,149. It's taking some time for that to sink in for me. That's actually more than what a brand new Road Glide cost in 2024. $150 more to be exact. I know that there are apples and oranges to some degree, right? But at the end of the day, we're still looking at a Softail versus a full-on touring motorcycle. So for me, the $26,000 price tag is kind of hard to swallow for me. But on the other hand, if you were to go with the chrome trim with Blue Burst, you're looking at about $25,000, which is much, much easier to stomach. And it's roughly only going to cost you a little over $1,000 more than the previous year's model. And for all of the upgrades on the Lowrider ST, that to me seems like a really good way to go. Not to mention the Blue Burst with the chrome looks really sharp. I can just imagine all of the parts from Thrash & Supply will go really well with that. What do you guys think about the 2025 Lowrider ST and the S models? Do you think all of the upgrades justifies the price increases? Let me know what you guys think, but that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.